Alright, so here we are. We're bringing you a 1500 point battle report featuring the brand new Eldar Craftworlds Codex. Been a lot of hype about this codex, and we're going to put it to the test. We're playing a Maelstrom of War mission. It's the one where you can steal the loot. Draw up to 3 tactical objective cards at each turn. You can discard as normal, with the exception of you cannot discard any objectives that say secure objective X, where X is 1 through 6. So we'll go over the list real quick. We start with an Eldar. With Eldar, we have a CAD, HQ's a Farseer, and 6 jet bikes for troops with scatter lasers. Then we have the Lord of War Wraith Knight with double Wraith cannons. Heavy support, we have War Walkers, Bright Lance scatter laser combo. Fast attack, we got 2 Vipers with Bright Lances. And in the HQ slot over here, we have 6 more jet bikes, again with scatter lasers. And then we're also running an aspect host formation, which features 5 fire dragons in this wave serpent with an Exarch, along with 2 5-man squads of warp spiders with an Exarch that will be in deep strike reserve. The Farseer rolled his psychic powers, got Psychic Shriek, Eldritch Storm, and Guide. Then over here for the Blood Angels, we have 1500 points, Flesh Tear, Strike Force Detachment. We have Astaroth the Grim leading the group, along with a level 1 librarian with a jump pack. Then the troops' choice, we have 5 Tactical Marines. Then we have the 5 bikes with 2 grab guns and a combi grav. Heavy support, we have Vindicator with Siege Shield, and in reserve is a Storm Raven. And here we also have an Imperial Knight ally with the Battle Cannon. So the Librarian rolled up the Quickening and Blood Boil for his psychic powers. So Blood Angels won the roll for deployment and table sides, so they will attempt to take turn 1 unless Eldar can seize the initiative. And then we'll be back at the end of turn 1. Okay, so here we are at the bottom of Blood Angels turn 1. Basically, the Death Company moved up here, ran up a little bit to try and get some of that line of sight blocking terrain. The Vindicator moved over here, fired his ordnance into that Wave Serpent who elected to jink. With a 3+ jink, failed the jink, but then knocked it down to a glance with a shield. So 2 hull points left on that Wave Serpent. The Imperial Knight fired 2 shots into the Wave Serpent as well, and one of those hit the Wraith Knight, scattered over and hit the Wraith Knight. The Wave Serpent was able to jink away the damage from the Imperial Knight. However, the Wraith Knight took a wound and failed his Feel No Pain and cover save. So he's down to 5 wounds. The bikes moved up and then turbo boosted around here. And the Tactical Marines remained where they were. The tactical objectives the Blood Angels drew this turn was Decapitating Strike, Scour the Skies, and Secure 6. Secure Objective 6 is on the other side of the table, so couldn't score that one, but also can't discard it. So going to go ahead and discard Scour the Skies, I think, since I can't score that one. And then we'll be back at the bottom of Eldar turn 1. Alright, so we're here at the bottom of Eldar turn 1. Pretty good turn for Eldar. Basically, the jet bikes moved out of here, lit up that squad of bikers with Guide casted, managed to wipe them out with the combined fire of the bikers here and the scatter laser off the Wave Serpent that moved up. So the bikers died. Wraith Knight shot 2 D cannons into the Imperial Knight, but the Knight managed to make invulnerable saves on the D table. 6 was not rolled. And then the War Walkers and the Vipers all shot their Bright Lances into the Knight. Got a couple of hits through, but the invulnerable saves were once again made, so no damage there. Over here, these bikes moved out just past that side of the wall, shot in and killed a couple of Death Company, and then Assault moved back to grab Secure 6 and steal that one from Blood Angels. So presently at the bottom of turn 1, the score is now 5-0 for Eldar. Eldar managed to score all 3 of their tactical objectives, which was Combined Strike, which is kill an enemy unit in Psychic, Shooting, or the Assault phase, which they killed a unit in the Shooting phase, and then the Legacy of Sorrow and Assassinate, both for killing characters, killed the Sergeant there in the bike squad. So, and then of course Secure Objective 6, which was stolen from Blood Angels. So presently the score is 5-0 in favor of the Eldar, counting First Blood. So we'll be back at the bottom of Blood Angels turn 2. So here we are at the bottom of turn 2 for the Blood Angels. Not a bad turn. The Storm Raven came on. He shot 2 missiles and a las cannon into the Wraith Knight. Did 3 wounds. Wraith Knight did not make his feel no pain, so he's down to 3 wounds. And then Power of the Machine Spirit, a multi-melta into the Warwalker there. Managed to get an immobilized result on the damage table, so the Warwalker there is immobilized. Imperial Knight and the Vindicator shot into this Wave Serpent, forcing it to jink. Only got 1 through, and of course the Serpent Shield knocked it down to a glance, so it's at 1 hull point. The Death Company moved up here and ran a little bit. They're pretty much out of charge range, plus they needed to stay there to get a victory point. So at the end of the Blood Angels turn 2, they scored Ascendancy, so controlled 3 objective markers, number 4, number 1, and over here the Knight is holding 5. And they got 2 victory points out of that, and then Hold the Line is 3 scoring units in the backfield. They have a Tactical Marine squad. The Vindicator moved back, and the Knight. So Blood Angels are on the board now with the score is Eldar 5, Blood Angels 3. So we'll come back at the end of Eldar turn 2 and see if the Eldar can manage to pull something out here. Alright, be back in just a moment. Okay, so bottom of turn 2 for the Eldar went pretty well. The Wave Serpent moved up, turned around, dropped off the Fire Dragons there, who, because of the special rules, hitting on 2s, and managed to strip off some hull points from the Wraith Knight. We managed to get a total of 3 hull points off the, Imperial Knight. 3 hull points off the Imperial Knight with a combined shooting of that and the Wraith Knight into it with the D cannons. Bright Lances here, and finally the last one, some lucky rolls from the Scatter Laser. Managed to take down the Storm Raven, all with Snapfire. The jet bikes moved over here. Did not get guide cast off, so it got denied. Managed to dump a lot of shots into the Death Company, and along with this jet bike squad, managed to whittle the Death Company down to a Thunderhammer guy, the Librarian, and Asterith, who has 2 wounds left. So pretty good turn. The Eldar drew for objectives. Secure 4, which they did not score. Will not give that one away because they can't. Skyborn Assault, which is destroy an enemy unit with the Eldar faction who's a skimmer or Eldar jet bike. So we scored that because the Scatter Laser off of the Wave Serpent took down the Storm Raven. After some lucky hits along with the Bright Lances here. And then Scour the Skies was the other one, which obviously we killed the Flyers. So that netted 2 victory points for Eldar. So presently the score is 7-3 in the favor of Eldar, going into the bottom of turn 2, or excuse me, the top of turn 3 for the Blood Angels. Alright, be back at the bottom of turn. So here we are at the end of the top of turn 3. Not a bad turn for Blood Angels. Asterith and company charged in, managed to kill 2 of the Warwalkers and leave the other with a hull point remaining. And Asterith did take a wound from the battle, from the assault. Over here, the Imperial Knight charged into those 3 fire dragons 2 Overwatch shots, rolled 6s. He failed invulnerable saves, but only managed to strip off 2 hull points. And then the Fire Dragon subsequently died in assault, so the Imperial Knight has 1 hull point remaining. The Vindicator shot over into the Wave Serpent. It jinked, and in the shooting phase, the battle cannon was shot into the Wave Serpent, and it failed its jink. So the last hull point was taken away, so it's dead. So Imperial Knight killed 2 units this turn, basically. Took down the Wave Serpent and then the Fire Dragons with a hull point remaining. Other than that, Blood Angels will still secure Objective 4, and then scored 2 more victory points for destroying enemy unit in the assault phase with purity through bloodshed. Killed the Fire Dragon, so they'll score that. And overwhelming firepower for killing the Wave Serpent in the shooting phase. So presently, right now, Blood Angels are down but not out. They have 6 points, and Eldar, I think, have 7 at this point. So we'll get back at the bottom of turn 3 and see how things are looking. Right now, Blood Angels are running low on models, on body count at this point. So get back at the bottom of 3 and see how it goes. Okay, so bottom of turn 3 for Eldar, and boy was it a brutal one. Over here, the jet bikes pretty much stayed in place. The Farseer decided to cast the Warp Charge 3 version of Eldritch Storm on the Imperial Knight with the large blast. He hit, got the power off. Imperial Knight did not make the save, and was taken out with the Haywire Psychic Power with his last remaining hull point. The catastrophic explosion scattered and didn't really hurt anything. Warp Spiders had jumped down here and battle focused over. Ended up blowing up that Vindicator, or wrecking it rather. Jet bikes moved over here, shot into those 5 Space Marines back there, killing them. And then over here in the combat, Astaroth and the Librarian and the Thunderhammer went ahead and took out the remaining Warwalker. So Eldar only scored 1 more victory point, secure Objective 6. Moved this Viper over here to score it, leaving his buddy behind who immobilized himself. So the other Warp Spider squad did come in, however they mishapped the initial run trying to get down into the Vindicator. And the second group came in. So right now, bottom of turn 3, Blood Angels have 3 models left on the table. Astaroth, the Librarian, and the Thunderhammer. And that's it. So we're going to go to the top of turn 4. See if the Blood Angels can hold on. Right now the score is not out of hand. It's just a lot of death. If things don't go well for Blood Angels on this turn, they could be out of the game, so we'll see how that goes. So we'll get back at the end of. So we're here at the bottom of 4. Excuse me, the bottom of turn 3, or top of turn 4 rather. Top of turn 4. Astaroth and the Librarian and the Thunderhammer guy moved up, tried to take out the Wraith Knight, maybe get a moral victory. The Librarian cast Quickening on himself. He perilled in doing so, but then rolled a 6 on the perils chart. So passed his leadership and then ended up having a 3-up invulnerable save and Fleshbane and 2 extra attacks at Initiative 6. Because of Quickening adds D3 to number of attacks and initiative. So he's actually able to charge in, which the Wraith Knight ended up killing the Thunderhammer with the D cannon on the way in with the Overwatch. Astaroth and the Librarian got in. Ended up taking a wound off with the Librarian with the Fleshbane. Astaroth wasn't able to get a 6. And then the Wraith Knight managed to hit a couple times, but the Librarian made the 3-up invulnerable save. and then the stomps killed them. The stomp attack, I got 3 stomp attacks and rolled a 6 on one of them, so they both were destroyed, removed as casualty, which ends the game. Eldar victory. The top of turn 4, the Blood Angels and Imperial Knight Force is tabled. Really only managed to kill the Fire Dragons, Wave Serpent, and the War Walkers from the Eldar. Eldar, brutal army. A lot of the changes with the bikes being able to get scatter lasers, huge. Wraith Knight being a gargantuan creature with the stomps makes him much more dangerous now than before. It was a good game. Just too much firepower, too little time for the Blood Angels to actually do what they needed to do.